This week, OpenAI just released Sora 2, and in less than 48 hours, it hit number 3 on the App Store. And that's only one of the 4 companies that released AI updates this week. The rest could fundamentally change how your business operates. And I can prove it with one number, $455 billion. That's just one data center contract from one of these releases. But here's the problem. Things are moving so fast that it's hard to figure out why it all matters. So let me break down exactly what dropped, why it matters, and what you need to do about it right now. On September the 30th, OpenAI released Sora 2. Within 48 hours, it hit number 3 on the Apple App Store. Now, you've probably seen the viral videos, Rick and Morty in Minecraft, photorealistic gymnastics routines, people riding dragons. Cool, right? Everyone's talking about how you can now create video with AI, but that completely misses the point. Here's what actually changed. Previous AI video models would cheat physics. If a basketball player missed a shot, the ball would magically teleport to the hoop. Sora 2 understands physics. The ball bounces off the backboard. Objects maintain their shape. Motion is realistic, but more importantly, it generates synchronized audio, dialogue, sound effects, music, all matched to the video. And here's the feature nobody saw coming, cameos. You record yourself once, video and audio, and Sora can insert you into any scene. Your digital twin can appear in marketing videos, training content, product demos. Now, if you're thinking, cool technology, but what's the business angle? Let's talk numbers. A typical 30-second professional video for social media can cost anywhere from $1,500 to $5,000. Requires a videographer, an editor, equipment, multiple takes. Sora 2 generates 10-second clips with synchronized audio in minutes. But here's the real implication. OpenAI didn't just launch Sora 2 as a tool. They launched it as a social media platform. It's TikTok, but for AI-generated content. Algorithmic feed, remix features, personalized recommendations. They're not trying to replace YouTube or Instagram. They're creating the distribution channel for AI content. They're building the ecosystem where AI content creators can share. Maybe in the future, monetize. And that brings us to the second massive release. Anthropic released Claude Sonnet 4.5. They're calling it the best coding model in the world. And for once, the hype might actually be justified. Claude Opus 4, their previous flagship model, could work autonomously for about 7 hours. Sonnet 4.5, 30 continuous hours of coding without human intervention. But what does that actually mean? Here's a real example from Anthropic's enterprise testing. Claude built an entire application from scratch, set up database services, purchased a domain name, and performed a SOC2 security audit, all without a developer touching the keyboard. Now, if you're a developer watching this, you might be worried. If you're a business owner, you're probably calculating how much you spend on developer salaries. But here's what's actually happening. This isn't about replacing developers. It's about changing what developers do. Instead of spending 80% of their time writing boilerplate code and handling repetitive tasks, developers can focus on architecture, strategy, application security, and complex problem solving. For small businesses and entrepreneurs, the implications are even bigger. We could see an explosion of micro software as a service companies meeting the needs of local businesses. And it's not just coding. Claude claims the new model excels at cybersecurity, patching vulnerabilities before they're exploited, financial analysis, building models, forecasting, risk assessment, research, transforming raw data into actionable insights. Now, we will need to test these claims for ourselves, but it does look promising if it can live up to our expectation. But here's the detail you might have missed. Anthropic also released something called the Claude Agent SDK. That's the infrastructure they use to build Claude code. They're open sourcing the architecture that makes 30-hour autonomous work possible. What that means is developers can now build custom agents that work for 30+ hours on specific business problems. An agent that monitors your customer service tickets and drafts responses. An agent that audits your code base every night. An agent that analyzes your sales data and adjusts your ad spending. And speaking of business agents, Microsoft just made a very strategic move. Microsoft announced Microsoft 365 Premium at $19.99 per month. On the surface, it looks like they just bundled Copilot AI with Office 365, but that completely misses the strategic play happening here. First, let's talk about what happened to pricing. Copilot Pro was $20 per month as a separate subscription. Microsoft 365 was $9.99 per month. Now you get both for $19.99. On paper, that looks like a discount, but here's what actually changed. Microsoft killed the standalone Copilot Pro offering. You can't buy AI capabilities separately anymore. If you want AI assistance in Outlook, Excel, or Word, Word, you have to buy the bundle. This is Microsoft applying the same strategy they use with Office. Remember when you could buy Word separately? Now you buy Microsoft 365 or nothing. They're doing the same thing with AI. But there's a second play here that's even more important. Microsoft is launching something called Agent Mode in Excel and Word. This isn't Copilot that assists you. This is AI that works autonomously. You give it a task, walk away, and it completes the entire workflow. Here's the business implication. Microsoft is positioning AI as infrastructure, not a feature. You don't buy AI tools, you buy Microsoft 365, which happens to have AI built into everything. That makes the IT invisible, which makes it essential. And one more detail nobody's talking about. Starting late October, Windows 11 will automatically install Microsoft companion apps on every device. They're not asking permission. They're making AI ubiquitous by default. For businesses, this means every employee will have AI capabilities whether you plan for it or not. That creates both opportunities and risks. Employee productivity can increase, but so can data security concerns if you're not prepared. Google enhanced its AI mode search experience with what they're calling visual search fan-out. This one's less flashy than video generation or autonomous coding, but it's strategically critical. Here's what changed. AI mode now analyzes not just the main subject of an image, but background objects, context, and visual relationships. Let's say you take a photo of a restaurant dish. Previous AI would identify pasta carbonara. New AI mode identifies the pasta, recognizes the restaurant based on the plating style, suggests similar dishes nearby, and understands dietary preferences from your search history. But more importantly, Google replaced Google Assistant on smart home devices with Gemini AI. That means every Google Home, Nest Hub, and Smart Display now has conversational AI instead of command-based voice control. For businesses with physical locations, this changes everything. Customers can now have natural conversations with AI about your business before they ever contact you. Voice search becomes voice conversation, and AI decides which businesses get recommended. So we've covered 4 major releases, but there's a bigger pattern here. These companies aren't competing with each other. They're carving up the AI market. OpenAI is trying to own content creation and consumer AI. Sora 2 isn't just a video tool. It's trying to become the platform where AI content gets distributed. They're building the infrastructure for the creator economy's next phase. Anthropic is trying to own developer tools and enterprise automation. Claude isn't trying to beat ChatGPT at casual conversation. It's targeting businesses that need reliable, long-duration autonomous work. Microsoft is trying to own workplace productivity. Every office worker, every Excel spreadsheet, every corporate email. Microsoft is embedding AI into the tools 1.5 billion people use every single day. And Google still owns search and discovery. When AI decides what information people see, Google wants to be the AI making those decisions. But here's where it gets really interesting. Oracle announced $455 billion in backlogged AI data center contracts. But here's the catch. $300 billion of that is from OpenAI, who doesn't have $300 billion. They'll need more investor money. NVIDIA announced a $100 billion investment in OpenAI, who's buying from Oracle, who's buying NVIDIA GPUs. It's a self-reinforcing ecosystem. And that brings us to what this actually means for you. Let's get practical. If you're an entrepreneur, executive, or business owner, here's what matters. First, content creation. If you've been putting off video marketing because of cost, that excuse is gone. Sora 2 gives you video production capabilities that would have required a $50,000 investment 6 months ago. Second, software development timelines just collapse. Features that took months can now be prototyped in hours. That means your competitors can iterate faster, test ideas faster, and bring products to market faster. Third, the AI you use matters now. Microsoft 365 Premium at $20 per month gives you autonomous agents in your daily workflow. Fourth, voice and visual search are about to explode. If your business isn't optimized for conversational AI and image-based queries, you're invisible to the next generation of search. But here's the thing most people get wrong. You don't need to use every AI tool. You need to understand which tools solve which problems in your business. So let me give you the framework. Ask yourself 3 questions. What tasks in your business are repetitive and time-consuming? That's where AI automation provides immediate ROI. What capabilities do you wish you had but can't afford? That's where AI tools create competitive advantage. What are your customers asking for that you can't deliver? That's where AI enables new business models. Here's the reality. We just covered 4 major releases from 1 week. Next week, there will be 4 more. The pace of AI development isn't slowing down, it's accelerating. The companies that win in this environment aren't the ones with the best technology. They're the ones that can evaluate new tools quickly, implement them efficiently, and adapt their processes constantly. So here's what I recommend. Hit subscribe to stay up to date because I help you cut through the hype and explain what actually matters for your business. And if you want to learn more, then watch this video.